What's up, everyone? Today I just wanted to go over a couple of the different methods I've used for making these keyhole slots in the backs of wooden flags and signs. I've done these with a CNC router, a router table, and a couple different methods using the palm router. But since we're already at the computer, let's go ahead and knock the CNC part out first. If you don't have a CNC router, go ahead and skip to this time. I start with a 3x3 inch work area that's 3/4 inch thick, with the home position set to the center of the material. I have my Z0 set to the top. We're starting in Carbide Create, but it will be a similar process for most programs. I'll also show you how to do it in Carveco. We just need to draw a couple lines, so using the Polyline tool, we can click the center of our workpiece. I have my grid spacing set to 1/4 inch, so I just come down 4 blocks to make a 1-inch line. Now I just drag that line back to the start position. To stop drawing, just click the Done button. I know it just looks like there's a single line here, but I promise there's two. And the point we started the drawing at will be the point where the cut will start at. Next, we need to go over to the Toolpath tab and click on Contour. The actual tool we use in the program won't matter as long as it's an end mill, so we'll just use the 1/8 inch number 102 bit that it defaults to. We need to change some of the settings, however. Clicking Edit will open up the tool settings. We don't want this making multiple passes, so I just change my depth per pass to 1 inch. There's no need to push this cut too hard, so we'll leave the plunge at 8 and the feed rate at 20 inches per minute. Now we need to set the max depth we actually want to cut to. For my bit, 3/8 of an inch will work great, so I'll just set this to 0.375 inches. We need to set the offset direction to no offset. Now we can click OK and check out the simulation. Of course, this won't show the actual T-slot shape, but that's okay. What you want to see is a single green line for the toolpath. The bit will plunge in along this line, move forward and back along the bottom line, and then retract out of the same hole that it started in. I like to save my G-codes to something that will help me remember how it's set up, so I called this one Keyhole, top 0, 1 inch forward. Now let's take a look at how it actually cuts. Let's imagine this is a 21 by 11 inch flag that I just finished cutting. The union is at the top left. I'm going to flip the flag towards myself so that the top edge of the back of the flag is closest to me. It's very important that I get this squared up against my fence. You do have one of those, right? If not, I'll put a link in the description on how you can set one up. It's a huge time saver and takes a lot of the guesswork out of setting your projects up. I lay out roughly where I want my holes and clamp the board down. The Z0 gets set to the top of the material using a piece of paper. When the paper gets pinched between the bit and the workpiece, I click the 0 button for the Z-axis only. Now I can raise the bit up a hair and move to the location I want the hole to start at. I then set only the X and Y zeros in the software. It's a good idea to keep your hand on the pause or power button when running a new program, just in case something didn't get set up right. Check out my new Always Ready shirt if you follow the same method to prevent breaking bits. To cut the second hole, I returned to the current X and Y 0 location and moved only in the X direction. That ensures that both holes end up at the same exact height. If you have a common size product that you need to make multiple keyholes in, I'd consider setting up a separate program for it. Here's a 21 by 11 inch flag that I've set the XY0 to the lower left corner. I have 2 keyholes set up 16 inches apart. If you have a fence, this will save you a lot of time in having to reset your X and Y0 for every job. Just make sure that everything is referenced off the corner. The method for Carveco is similar, however they don't let you click the exact same start and end position for the lines. I use the same Polyline tool and click the center, which is again my home location. I come down -1 inch on the Y-axis and add a point. Next, instead of going back to 0, I type in 0.001 and add a point. Clicking Cancel will close the tool. Now we can go to Toolpath and select the Profile toolpath. We need to change the profile to a long and set our finish depth to 0.375 inch. Just like with Carbide Create, I chose the 1/8 inch end mill and changed the step down to 1 inch. The default feed rates were a little high, so I changed them to 20 inch per minute for feed and 8 inch per minute for plunge. Again, we can look at our toolpath. This might be a little clearer. We have the light blue line, which represents the plunge straight down into the material. After it gets to 0.375 inches, it follows the red line 1 inch forward, and then follows the same red line back to 0.001 inch. It then retracts the bit through just about the same hole that it started in. Now we can look at some other methods, starting with the router table. I set my bit height to 3/8 of an inch. I figure out where I want my travel to be and use clamps to set stops. Pay attention here, because if you're not careful, you might end up cutting the hole upside down like I did. Just keep in mind that you want the keyhole to start towards the bottom of your material. It's a good idea to label the start and stop points. I find it best to shut the router off before removing your workpiece, and I like to use a push block to keep the workpiece pressed down and against the fence. If cutting multiple holes, you can just move the fence and repeat the process. Another method is to use a palm router. Of course, you can do this freehand, but the results are usually less than perfect. To help keep everything straight, you can use a square to help guide the router. Clamping the square down would probably give even better results. My method of choice, despite having a CNC router, is to use a jig. I make these a couple different ways. Start by measuring the base of your router. In my case, it's 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. I cut a couple pieces to the size of my base plus 1 inch, so 4.5 inches. Now I set these pieces next to my router and cut 2 pieces that are the size of my base plus the width of the first 2 pieces. These measurements will vary based on the size of your base and the width of the material you use. I just grabbed some scrap that I had laying around. Once these 4 pieces are cut, I glued and screwed them together. The first piece will act as a guide and needs to be attached perpendicular to the 4.5 inch pieces. Be careful not to crack these like I'm about to. If you do, just use a little bit of super glue to fix it. Once everything is assembled, I make a mark at the midway point to help me line the jig up. If you do a lot of designs that are the same, I recommend making a jig specifically for those pieces. This one will be for a 21 by 11 inch flag. I lay out 2 3.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles with the center spaced 16 inches apart. Then I just cut them out with a jigsaw. If your cut isn't perfect, you can use a chisel or file to clean them up. Next, I attach the guide. In this case, it's 21 inches long. This is my favorite method for making keyholes. It's super fast and doesn't tie up my CNC machine. I can do this while the CNC is making more flags. I like to keep a cheap palm router with a keyhole bit in it at all times that's dedicated just to this. It takes less than 1 minute to make these 2 holes, and they come out perfect every time. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And if you have another method of doing keyholes, I'd love to hear about it. I'd really appreciate if you clicked that like button and shared this video with people who you think could benefit from it. And it would mean a lot to me if you click that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Until next time, here's a few other videos that YouTube thinks you might like.